following is a presentation of Flow Sports.
Good afternoon, Flow Racing. Happy race day.
Just how lucky we are to be able to tune in to Flow and watch pretty much any race we want.
This is what you say village for. We are free.
Division 44th Annual Ohio Sprint Speedweek with the NAPA Auto Parts All-Star Circuit of Champions presented by Valvoline Oil. 44 cars signed in to open up the 8 nights of racing over 9 days across the Buckeye State for the Burt and Bridget Emmy Classic here tonight. Cars will be put in 2 qualifying groups, 22 in each group. Group A will hot lap in a set amount of cars, I believe 4 sets at a time. Then they will go back and qualify. Then we'll bring out hot laps for Group B, and then they will qualify as well. Tonight's racing here at Attica Raceway Park brought to you by American Power Sports in Findlay and Sandusky, your full-service dealership for new motorcycles, new autocycles, new ATVs, snowmobiles, utility vehicles, including Ranger, new personal watercrafts, new golf carts, new side-by-side scooters, generators conveniently located on I-75 in Findlay and Route 250 in Sandusky. American Power Sports Service Department will help you maintain your machine so it runs for years. Their parts department has the largest selection of parts and accessories in the area. And Ohio Laborers. Tonight's race is brought to you by LIUNA, the Laborers International Union of North America, in conjunction with Ohio Laborers and Ohio Lesset. Throughout Ohio, there are 20,000 members, under which 22 local union halls represent. LIUNA members build roads, construct bilges, install gas and water lines, clean hazardous waste, and much more. When you see LIUNA members working on the roads, please remember to keep them safe, slow down, and move over. Check their website for more information and job training opportunities at LIUNA, LIUNA.org. And Ollie's Bargain Outlet just opened a new store in nearby Norwalk, Ohio, the largest retail of closeout merchandise and accessory inventory since 1982. Ollie's, good stuff cheap. Check them out online at ollies.com. And Alex, I believe the first set of hot laps are on the Speedway. So go ahead and tell everybody watching on Flow Racing and here at the Speedway who is who.
And rolling down the backstretch, no better to start with the reigning and defending Ohio Speedweek champion from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, in the Weikert's Livestock Speedway Cars.com Big Cove Whitetail Trophy Hunts. That's the 48 of Danny Dietrich. Behind Danny Dietrich from Mercer, Pennsylvania, McCandless Ford of Mercer, Meadville, McCandless Trailer Sales, Priest Enterprises 29. That's a Maxim Rookie of the Year contender of Logan McCandless. 7-star of Tyler Street from Mount Vernon, Ohio, in the 89 Homes, K&R Supplies, the shortstop, 7-star.
The red number 5 out there from Rising Sun, Ohio, Cody Brewer, in the RC Concrete, MRZ Brush Removal, Kent's Transmissions, B&G Seeds, Bowling Transportation, making his Attica debut, the 4th-generation driver in car number 81 out of Holmesville, Ohio, Race Jacobs. In the Simcox Grinding and Steel, Amanda J. Lewis, attorney at law, HP Engines, number 81. The 3V of Chris Verda out of Elyria, Ohio, moving down the back stretch. In that Oxford Harriman Financial, New Era Servicing, John Wright's Custom Chrome Plating, Graber Racing Components, number 3V. In the number 66, leading the strong Australian contingent. That is Ryan Newton out of Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia. And the Redicel Trucking, New Trend Homes, Red Hill Transport, NAPA Auto Parts, Clay Purview, Sprint Shack, number 66. And in the number 29, the Level Utilities, Limousine Services, number 29 out of Tiffin, Ohio, Zeth Howdy Sabo. Zeth Sabo in car number 29.
Right now, Tyler Street quickest so far, 13.262. Ryan Newton, Race Jacobs, Zeth Sabo, Danny Dietrich, your top 5. As checkered flag will wave here on your first group in Flight A. And Brian, the storylines coming into Ohio Speed Week, especially here at Attica, Cap Henry is the biggest question of, can anyone stop him? In the past 2 seasons, every time we've come to Attica, Cap Henry has won.
3 wins here this season. Some of the we got a lot of feature winners rolling into this week. Danny Dietrich with 2 wins, one at Port Royal, one at the Lincoln Speedway. Logan McCandless got his first feature win of the season last week at his home track of Mercer, Pennsylvania. Ricky Peterson, who is here tonight, really coming on strong. Couple podium finishes, got his first win of the season a couple of weeks back as well. So a lot of feature winners here, but Cap Henry, 3 of them here at Attica already in the 2026 season, came from 8th last week.
Rolling on the track here in a brand new wrap from Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin. And the hot Wisconsin cheese 47T. That is Todd King. Todd King again from in the BMR electric carts, Kaiser aluminum wheels, and Wisconsin hot cheese. Bright wrap there for Todd King.
In the 27H out of Findlay, Ohio, Bryce Lucius, and the Hefner Racing, Rodata Trucking and Excavating Triple X Chassis Stinger Race Fuel BK Trucking number 27H. In the 5AU, he picked up the win at the Butler Speedway last Saturday night out of Adel, Australia. That is Brock Hallett. In the GW Racing Slade Shocks Kaiser Wheels number 5AU.
Going down the backstretch from Kokomo, Indiana, in the Indy Race Parts Garrett Race Engine 71. That is the law firm Parker Price Miller.
Right behind him in the 5E out of Allenton, Michigan, that is Bobby Elliott. In the Crest Lincoln, Ron's CarQuest, Catch Fence, Armada number 5E. In car number 35, former track champion out of Helena, Ohio, that is Stuart Brubaker. In the Story Equipment, Black Swamp Heating and Cooling, Pit Stop Convenience Stores, Gary Holling Trucking, American Armature Corporation, North Branch Nursery, Josh Cromer, Seamless Gutters, G&L Oil, number 35. And the number 98 in his rookie season of 410 Racing out of Delta, Ohio, Kai Harper. In the GW Fine Foods, Steiny's Tavern, Dave and Betty Hoover Farms, Coon Sales and Service, Warlock Enterprises. Problems for Parker Price Miller here on the front stretch in the Indy Race Parts 71 as he coasts to a stop. Brock Hallett always comes over right around Speed Week, always has some success. Picked up his first feature win at the Fremont Speedway last year, but not during Speed Week, and again picked up the win, I believe just his third night out racing last Saturday at the Butler Battleground Speedway up in Quincy, Michigan. Bryce Lucius was out here in this hot lap session, isn't he? Or was he in the first one? I can't remember. There he is. A new ride for him, that Mike Hefner Racing entry. Trying to cut his teeth at a relatively young age over at the tough Pennsylvania Posse Lands. The former 3 years ago National 410 Rookie of the Year, Bryce Lucius, in that 27H.
And Brian coming in, we always talk about how pivotal Ohio Speed Week is, and this year no different. Points separated by a merely 1 point coming into the night between Caleb Henry and Cale Thomas.
Well, the unfortunate news is, all the rainouts this year, everybody coming into Ohio Sprint Speed Week with pretty fresh equipment. Usually by this time of the year, you're looking at guys that have already got, 20 races under their belts, and their engines may need refreshing and things like that. But with all the rainouts this year, guys are coming in here with pretty fresh equipment for the Overwatch Precision Ohio Sprint Speed Week. This is only the 6th race of the year at Attica Raceway Park. We've lost 8 to weather, and we just had our mid-season championship last Friday night. So that speaks volumes of what's going on. And it looks like, I looked at the weather forecast this week all over the state of Ohio. It looks pretty favorable.
And, you know, unlike last year, I come pulling up to the racetrack, sun's out, blue skies. It just makes me happy that we're going to start it off on the right foot this year, getting night one kicked off. And it is actually very gorgeous for a Friday night.
Brock Hallett now quickest in the leaderboard at a 13:129 at 5AU. Tyler Street second, Ryan Newton third, Bryce Lucius fourth, and Kai Harper your top five.
Hitting the Speedway now from Fremont, Ohio, and the CGS Commercial Glazing Services Level Utilities Level Performance Crown Battery. That is a 3 of DJ Foose.
Right behind him in the 25R at Bellevue, Ohio, Jordan Ryan and Ernst Tire Recycling, Joyride Transportation. Premier Undercoating, Burns Electric, Carry Deal at Sluss Realty, number 25R.
From Benton Ridge, Ohio, and the Ohio Logistics, DNC Hydraulics, Miller Customs, Finley Pallet, W20, that is Greg Wilson.
And right behind him in that number 98 out of Rawson, Ohio, Ricky Peterson. And the Golden Flavor Sesame Sticks, Berryman Racing Shocks, Callie's Performance Products, number 98. Yes.
From Huntersville, North Carolina, in the Level Utilities, Callie Go. You heard it from Kaiser Limousine Limos. That is the 44 of Aiden Price.
Behind him, the defending all-star champion out of Sacramento, California. In the 101, that is Caleb Henry in the Burchard Financial, Harris Distributing, Pub 400. C&H Veteran Services, Kleinholz Electric Machine, Triple J Towing, Valvoline, West River Sales, Zane Scott Media, number 101.
And from Terre Haute, Indiana, in the B&M Sandblasting and Power Coating, Culver Wrights Poles, Simpson Racing Products, 37, that is Bryce Norris.
Well, I got to say, Aiden Price has really stepped up his game in 2026, coming off a really good run here. Last week, he's had several good runs here at Attica Raceway Park in 2026, so he's the youngster, the teenager out of North Carolina, really turning some heads around Northwest Ohio.
When you talk about an impressive run, talk about starting on the front row against guys like Aaron Reitzel, Tyler Courtney just about a month ago. So green flag is out here on your final hot lap session for Flight A. My Race Pass hot laps. We're going to go Flight A hot laps, Flight A qualifying, Flight B hot laps, Flight B qualifying. We'll get into late model qualifying and hot laps before opening ceremonies. DJ Foose up to second quick, 13.142. Caleb Henry fourth quick. To Aiden Price now top of the board. That didn't last long though. Caleb Henry goes 12.975. So Caleb Henry first car into the 12-second bracket.
Caleb Henry, former Fremont Speedway track champion, with a win at the Fremont Speedway, where Sprint Speedweek will be next Friday, a week from today. So Caleb Henry quickest, Aiden Price second, Brock Hallett third, DJ Foose fourth, Ricky Peterson your top five in hot laps so far for Group A. And that will, I believe, wrap it up for hot laps. We go right into qualifying. Alex? First qualifier be young Race Jacobs, the son of Lee Jacobs, who is the son of Kenny Jacobs. A fourth-generation driver. Good to see him make his Attica debut during Ohio Sprint Speed Week, especially for the Burton Bridget Emmett Classic, as his grandpa Kenny, former All-Star champion, one of the all-time winningest drivers in All-Star history. And Burton Bridget ran the All-Stars so very well, beloved by everyone who ran under the All-Star banner. Great to celebrate him here, as they were part of the group that put Speed Week together. Them, Gene Lynch, Earl Ballas, put Speed Week together back in 1983. First race was at Quad City Speedway, McCutcheonville. And the promoter at the time was the legendary Hall of Famer Rick Ferkel at Quad City Speedway. Here we go, Alex.
First two cars to hit the Speedway. From Holmesville, Ohio, in the Simcox Grinding Steel, Amanda Lewis, attorney at law, BRS, Bell, HP Engines, 81, that is Race Jacobs. And from Mercer, Pennsylvania, the McCandless Ford of Mercer Meadville, McCandless Trailer Sales, Priest Enterprises, High Performance Lubricants, 29, that is Logan McCandless. Race Jacobs, Logan McCandless, first two cars to hit the Speedway opening time. For Race Jacobs, he'll go 13.156. Logan McCandless will go 13.220. Second time for Race Jacobs will improve 13.105. Second time for Logan McCandless will improve as well, 13.071. Next at the Speedway from Queensland, Australia, in the new Trent Holmes NAPA Rudis Hill Trucking 66, that is Ryan Newton. And from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, the Weigert Livestock, SpeedwayCars.com, Big Cove Whitetail Trophy Hunts, York Excavating 48, that is Danny Dietrich. Danny Dietrich back to defend his Ohio Speed Week title. Opening time for Ryan Newton. He'll go quick time 12.891 for Ryan Newton. Danny Dietrich's opening time second quick, 12.922. Second time around for Ryan Newton will improve, 12.691. Danny Dietrich will improve as well, 12.920. So Ryan Newton now top of the board through your first four cars. From Mount Vernon, Ohio, in the 89 Homes, K&R Supply, the shortstop, Schaefer's Oil, Behrman Racing Shocks Factory, Kane Shocks, Outlaw Logistics, and Bandit Logistics 7-star, that is Tyler Street. And from Crafton, Ohio, in the Oxford Harmon, New Era Surfacing, John Wright's Custom Chrome Plating, Rebbers Racing 3V, that is Chris Verda. Opening time for Tyler Street, second quick, 12.784. Chris Verda set, first time 13.306. He'll go sixth quick. Second time around for Tyler Street will not improve, 13.051. Verda's second time, 14.233. So Ryan Newton still hold quick time. Tyler Street up to second quick. From Rising Sun, Ohio, in the Poet, RC Concrete, MRZ Brush Removal, TNT Ag, Kent's Transmission, that's the 5 of Cody Brewer. And from Tiffin, Ohio, in the Love Utilities, Fremont Auto Parts, Linder Speed Equipment, Limousine Limos, Ash Automotive, 29Z of Zeth Howdy Sabo. Opening timed lap for Brewer, he'll go sixth quick, 13.138. Opening time for Seth Sabo, he'll go third quick, 12.786. Second time around for Brewer, he'll go up to fourth quick, 12.829. Second time for Seth Sabo, he'll go slower, 12.944.
Your next two qualifiers. The 27H out of Findlay, Ohio, Bryce Lucius, a 19-year-old driver of the Hefner Racing, Rodata Trucking and Excavating, Triple X Chassis, Stinger Race Fuels, BK Trucking, number 27H. And in the number 71 out of Kokomo, Indiana, the law firm, Parker Price Miller. In the Indy Race Parts, Wood Racing Engines, Chalk Sticks, number 71. Bryce Lucius opening lap. Good for six quick. Bryce Lucius will stay six quick. Parker Price Miller, quick time in Group A at a 12.599. His second lap is quickest lap for Parker Price Miller to 12.599.
From Delta, Ohio, in the Steiny's Tavern, SCM, Precision Machine, GW's Fine Foods, that's 98H of Kai Harper. And from Allenton, Michigan, in the Crest Lincoln Ron CarQuest Armada, Catch Fenced 5E, that is Bobby Elliott. Bobby Elliott in his second season with the All-Stars. Opening time lap for Kai Harper, he'll go eighth quick, 12.961. Opening time for the 5E of Bobby Elliott, 9th quick, 13.023. Second time around for Harper, he will not improve, 13.094. Bobby Elliott, second time around, he will not improve either, 13.527.
Your next pair of qualifiers in the number 47 out of Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin, Todd King. In the BMRE Electric Karts, Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, number 47. And in the 5AU, Madeline, Australia. That is Brock Hallett, the 34-year-old driver of the GW Racing Slade Shocks Kaiser Wheels sponsored machine. Hallett picking up the win at the Butler Speedway last week. King, a longtime racer with the Interstate Racing Association, going on the road full-time with the All-Stars in 2026. Brock Hallett will go 6 quick in Group A. And Todd King, 13th quick. So still the driver to beat, Parker Price Miller.
Next two cars hit the Speedway from Helena, Ohio in the Gary Holland pit stop of Tiffin Seamless Gutter Story Equipment 35. That is Stuart Brubaker. And from Terre Haute, Indiana in the B&M Sandblasting and Power Coating, Culver Wright Poles, Simpson Racing Products, Kaiser Wheels 37. That is Bryce Norris. Opening time for Stuart Brubaker. He'll go 8th quick, 12.885. Opening time for Norris, he'll go 7th quick, 12.843. Second time around for Stuart Brubaker will not improve, 12.913. Second time around for Norris, he'll go slower, 12.966.
Bryce with a win at the Federated Auto Parts I-55 Speedway in 2026. Next two qualifiers, Ricky Peterson, who has a victory this season. Out of Rawson, Ohio, car number 98, the 29-year-old driver of the Golden Flavor Sesame Sticks, Berryman Racing Shocks, Callie's Performance Products, number 98. Former Speedweek champion and a two-time All-Star champion in that W20 out of Benton Ridge, Ohio. That is Greg Wilson, the 50-year-old driver of the Ohio Logistics, DNC Hydraulics, Miller Customs, Puka, Finley Pallet, Interstate Truck Repair, number W20. Opening lap for Greg Wilson, good for 8th quick time. Ricky Peterson, 12th quick on his opening lap. Greg Wilson will remain at 8th quick in Group A, and Ricky Peterson will go 12th quick. Just a couple cars yet to qualify in Group A.
Next two cars at the Speedway from Sacramento, California in the Triple J Towing, Bertrand Financial, Heritage Shipping, CNH Veteran Enterprises, Valvoline, FK Rod Ends, Behrman Racing Shocks 101, that is Caleb Henry. And from Castillo, Ohio in the Ernst Tire Recycling, Joyride Transportation, Premier Planning Services 25R, that is Jordan Ryan. Jordan Ryan in the 25R and your current points leader, Caleb Henry on the Speedway. Opening time lap for Caleb Henry, he'll go quick time, 12.471. Opening time for Jordan Ryan, 15th quick, 12.983. Second time around for Caleb Henry, he will improve 12.454. Second time for Jordan Ryan, he'll improve to 12th quick, 12.904.
Well, Caleb Henry and his crew chief Andy Potter have really picked up some speed here in the past 3 or 4 weeks. Your final two qualifiers in Group A, the 3 of DJ Foose, former Attica track champion out of Fremont, Ohio, the 36-year-old driver of the Commercial Glazing Systems, Crown Battery, Josh Cromer, Seamless Gutters, Hammer Pallets, Level Performance, All Intent Rental, Level Utilities, number 3, and 8 Price coming off a top 4 run at Attica Raceway Park here last Friday night in that number 44. Out of Davidson, North Carolina, the 16-year-old driver, Level Utilities, Kaiser Sound, Kelly Co. Limousine Services, number 44. And he will go 7th quick, Aiden Price in the number 44. And DJ Foose, 3rd quick time for DJ Foose. And that'll wrap up qualifying for Group A. Caleb Henry quickest, Parker Price Miller second, DJ Foose second, Parker Price Miller third, Ryan Newton fourth, Tyler Street fifth, Zeth Sabo sixth, Aiden Price seventh, Cody Brewer eighth, Brock Hallett ninth, and Bryce Norris, your top 10 in Group A. Valuable points. Group B coming out for their hot lap session and qualifying. Alex?
So again, Hot Laps brought to you by My Race Pass. Race fans experience race night like never before with the My Race Pass app. All the race day information you need can be in the palm of your hands. Search for the All-Star Circuit of Champions on the home screen of My Race Pass and follow along. View drivers' entry lists, real-time lineups, official results, driver bios, point standings while the race is underway. And Brian, another cool thing about My Race Pass is you can also play fantasy on My Race Pass as well.
That's for you young folk. I'm serious. That's for you young folk. Us old guys don't understand fantasy stuff.
So again, Caleb Henry taking home Capital Renegade quick time in Flight A. We'll see if anyone can top him in Flight B. Again, hot laps first for Flight B before they get into their Capital Renegade qualifying.
And the first group hitting the Speedway, the 15K, out of Alveda, Ohio. That is Creed Kemenall, the 19-year-old driver of the Ohio Logistics, Truck Works of Ohio, Diesel Works, Kaiser Wheels, North Baltimore Custom Cut Meats, number 15K. Right behind him in the 8T, out of Medina, Ohio, the 23-year-old driver, Tanner Tecco, the Chuck's Custom Truck and Trailer, Amsoil, Albright Security Center, Designs Engineering, Luscious Graphics, Station House Antiques, Hickory Ride Welds, number 8T. And Darren Nida in the 11N out of Adrian, Michigan, the 19-year-old driver of the Cherries Propane, Cherries Outdoor World, L&M Properties, Poor Racing, Level Utilities, Heitmeyer Concrete, Nagy Coating, Southgate Lanes, number 11N. And he's got a win here and a win at the Fremont Speedway in 2026. That 49X out of Fairland, Indiana, Cale Thomas, a 28-year-old driver of the Rudzik Excavating, AL Drivelines, Centerline Boring, Smith Titanium 49X. In the number one, he picked up a $6,000 360 win at Limaland last Saturday night. That is, or last Friday night, Nate Dussel out of Bradner, Ohio, car number one, the 36-year-old driver of the Fawsey Farms, Industrial Movers, SNS Hauling, VRF Specialties, Barrier Fabrication, Gary Holland Trucking, A-Plus Auto Center, Wonderly's Carpet Care, Heitmeyer Concrete, Kistler Engines, Speedways Bar and Grill, number one. The 28N moving down the backstretch, former Attica Raceway Park Track champion out of Worcester, Ohio. That is Trey Jacobs and the Nagy's Performance Racing Products, Finley Pallet, Interstate Truck Repair, TNT Firearms, Nagy Equipment Sales, Miller Customs, Kilgore and Herring Accountants, Banshee Graphics, Gardner Trucking, Details, Auto Spa, Gressman Power Sports, Babizo, Smithville Manufacturing, Holmes Cheese Company, Burgett Insurance, Heitmeyer Concrete, X1 Race Cars, 28N. And the 45 driver change here already this season. In the Bryan Grove Racing entry, that is Devin Borden out of Raymond, Washington, the 23-year-old driver of the Slingshot Transportation, CEI Crane and Rigging, Buckshot Racing, Baker's Mobile Home Transport, Momentum Racing Suspensions, Garrett Services, number 45. The number 14 following the All-Stars this year. Out of Plymouth, Indiana, Zane DeVault, the 27-year-old driver of the Anderson Racing, A to Z Mechanical, Global Link Distribution, Duff's Bar and Grill, Tony Elliott Foundation, Handy Graphics, Premier Lubricants, number 14. Devin Borden having a hard time getting up the speed in car number 45. And Creed Kemenall with the quickest lap in that first group of hot laps at a 12.7.32. Nate Dussel second at a 12.7.42. Trey Jacobs at a 12.8.36. Cale Thomas at a 12.9.15. And Darren Nida, your top five, at a 12.9.16. Alex, hot lap session number 2.
Brian, that 45 car to start Williams Grove last week had problems. And then Devin Borden looked really good then throughout qualifying, heat race action, and he put on a heck of a show in the B main there, had to take a provisional, but still an impressive night for the 45 at Williams Grove in his return to Central PA. Next group on the Speedway. From Enon Valley, Pennsylvania, the Shell Haas Landscape Construction, McFarland Lumber Ballots, Bobby Clark Racing, Watkins Turf Care, Karski Security, Shop Angry Duck 38, that is Leighton Wagner. From Fremont, Ohio, on the Level Utilities, John Wright's Custom Chrome, Maxilon, Saget Sandblasting, Fremont Fence X, that is Mike Keegan. Mike Keegan rolling into turn number 3. Behind the X car from Indianapolis, Indiana, in the Northwest Ohio Towing and Recovery, Sugar Street Bar and Grill, that's the 97 of Zach Hampton. And behind Zach Hampton, someone who's looking for a lot of redemption here in Ohio Speed Week, from Republic, Ohio, and the Jeff Ward Demolition Premier Planning Services, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, Tony Elliott Foundation, Primal Tea Shop, 33W of Cap Henry. From West Plano, Texas, the Advanced Cast Stone Superior Tank and Trailer, Fremont Fence Company, Shingly Monkey, Hustled LLC, Crown Battery 19, that is TJ Michael. From Salina, Ohio, in the Ron Jacobs Trucking, May Painting and Sandblasting CEI 2X, that is Gage Etkin. From Tempe, Arizona, in the SCR Machine, Bird Racing, Johnson Built Concrete, that is Sterling Kling. Sterling Kling in the 34 car. Those are the next cars to hit the Speedway here for Flight B Hot Laps.
Cap Henry, 3 wins on the season here at Attica. 4-time track champion. Of course, coming off of 2025, saw him win 17 feature events. He's got 4 total this year, 3 here and 1 at the Mansfield Speedway. Just like that, he goes top of the speed charts in hot laps. Quietly putting together a really solid season so far. And that Prosser Racing number 19, TJ Michael, comes in tonight leading the Attica Fremont Championship Series points. Consistent top 10 finishes for that Prosser Racing 19. So Cap Henry quickest so far in hot laps. Creed Kemenau second, Nate Dussel third, TJ Michael up to 4th. Trey Jacobs 5th, Mike Keegan 6th, Cale Thomas 7th, Darren Knight 8th, Zane DeVault 9th, and Gage Etkin, your top 10 in speeds. Third and final group for hot laps in the Burmeister Racing number 16. That'll be Gage the Spider Garcia out of Lemoore, California, for the 20-year-old driver of the Sunny Signs, DMI, Kaiser Wheels, Willwood Brakes, Triple X Chassis, Graber Racing Components, Burmeister Trophies, NAPA, Brian V&V Custom Concrete, Berryman Racing Shocks, Wellham Auto Parts, number 16. The 7DK just shoving out of Ashland, Ohio. That is Dylan Kingan, the 34-year-old driver of the K&R Supply, 89 Homes, Ohio Logistics, 7DK. In the 09, out of Gibsonburg, Ohio, Craig Mintz, the 40-year-old driver of the Real Geese Decoys, Gill Construction, Grant Decker Construction, Bettsville American Legion, KS Sales and Service, Linder Speed Equipment, for the 2-time Attica champion, multi-time Ohio Sprint Speed Week champion, 4-time All-Star champion in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame in that 01 out of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, the Steel City Outlaw, Tim Schaefer. Schaefer, the 58-year-old driver of the Danny Williams Racing, Williams Seal, Cody McDonald's Roofing, Bennick Enterprises, number 01. In the 15C, another former 2-time Attica track champion out of Sandusky, Ohio, Chris Andrews, the 38-year-old driver of the Ohio Truck Sales, Fleet Financial, Riddle American Beer, Whiteford, Kenworth, number 15C. In the AU55 out of Mount Gambier, South Australia, that is Parker Scott. In the Auto Care of Mount Gambier, Cullum Morrison Construction, Prestige Track Sales, Quick Mix Concrete, number AU55. And that beautiful number 20B, Cody Bova, following the All-Stars this year. Out of Struthers, Ohio, the 32-year-old driver of the JS Bova Excavating, Southeastern Equipment, SP Tech, Pro Quality Demo, Seneca Bob Sub Shop, number 20B. Problems for Tim Schaefer. He goes pit side.
And Brian, not only is this the debut of that AU55 with the All-Stars and at Attica, but it's actually his first ever race here in the States.
That will wrap up hot laps for Group B. They'll go into qualifying. Cap Henry quickest in hot laps. Craig Mintz second. Creed Kemenall third. Nate Dussel fourth. TJ Michael fifth. Gage Garcia sixth. Trey Jacobs seventh. Mike Keegan eighth. Cale Thomas ninth. And Darren Nida, your top 10 in speeds in hot laps. Now qualifying for Group B. First two out, the one of Nate Dussel out of Bradner, Ohio, the 36-year-old driver, the Fawzi Farms Industrial Movers, SNS Hauling, VRF Specialties, Barrier Fabrication, Gary Holland Trucking, A-Plus Auto Center, Wonderly's Carpet Care, Heitmeyer Concrete, Kistler Engine, Speedway's Bar and Grill. Picked up the win at Limaland Motorsports Park last Friday. And Tanner Tecco in that 8T, the youngster out of Medina, Ohio, 23 years of age. In his third year of racing in that Chuck's Custom Truck and Trailer, Amsoil, Albright Security Center, Design Engineering, Luscious Graphics, Station House Antiques, Hickory Ride Welds, number 8T. Nate Dussel's opening lap at 12:8:31. Tanner Tecco's opening lap a 13:037. Dussel off the backside of the racetrack, back on in turns 3 and 4. And that will cost him some time. His first lap will be his quickest lap. And Tanner Tecco, his second lap will be his quickest at a 13:018.
Next at the Speedway from Fairland, Indiana, the Rudzik Excavating, Centerline Boring, Smith Titanium, AL Driveline, Behrman Racing Shocks, FK Rod Ends, 49X, that is Cale Thomas. Cale Thomas coming into tonight's second in All-Star points. And from Albida, Ohio, and Ohio Logistics, Truckworks of Ohio, Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, North Baltimore Custom Cuts, 15K of Creed Kemenall. Creed Kemenall on the 15K, Cale Thomas in the 49X. Opening time for Cale Thomas. He'll go quick time, 12.780. Creed Kemenall's opening time, he'll go now quick time, 12.439. Second time for Cale Thomas will not improve, 12.782. Second time for Creed Kemenall, he will not improve, 12.763.
Next two qualifiers, the 28N of Trey Jacobs out of Worcester, Ohio, the Nagy's Performance Racing Products, Finley Pellet, Interstate Truck Repair, TNT Firearms, Nagy Equipment Sales, Miller Customs, Kilgore and Herring Accountants, Banshee Graphics, Gardner Trucking, Details Auto Spa, Gressman Power Sports, Fabaizo, Smithfield Manufacturing, Holmes Cheese Company, Burgett Insurance, Heitmeyer Concrete, X1 Race Cars for the former Attica Raceway Park Track Champion. And in the number 14 out of Plymouth, Indiana, Zane DeVault. 27-year-old driver, the Anderson Racing, A to Z Mechanical, Global Link Distribution, Duff's Barn Grill, Tony Elliott Foundation, Handy Graphics, Premier Lubricants, number 14. Trey Jacobs opening lap, good for second quick time. Zane DeVault third quick. Quick time for Trey Jacobs at a 12:4:37, 1:24:37. And Creed Kemenall now falls back to second quick. Zane DeVault third, Cale Thomas fourth, Nate Dussel and Tanner Tecco.
Rolling on to the Speedway from Adrian, Michigan in the Ed Neumeister Racing, Cherry's Propane, Cherry's Outdoor World, L&M Properties, Port Racing, Level Utilities, Heitmeyer Concrete, Nagy Coatings, Elite Wings, 11N, that is Darren Nida. And from Raymond, Washington in the Slingshot Transportation, CEI, Crandon Rigging, Buckshot Racing, as Devin Borden off the pace there. That was the 45 of Devin Borden. So problems for Devin Borden as he'll pull off the Speedway here. Some gremlins in that Brian Grove Racing 45 entry. So just Darren Nida now, that 11N entry. Darren Nida won podium last year with the All-Stars, that coming at Latrobe Speedway.
The Ed Neumeister Racing Team showing some speed in this 11N early this season.
Opening time, lap 4, Darren Nida. Third quick, 12.654. So Darren Nida's opening time, lap third quick, and he's now off the pace So problems for Darren Nida. So both cars there, problems. At least Darren Nida gets a good opening time and goes third quick.
Next two, as we get Darren Nida off the racetrack, the 97 is Zach Hampton out of Mooresville, Indiana. 28-year-old drive the Ceiling Motorsports, Northwest Ohio Towing and Recovery, Sugar Street Bar and Grill, number 97. And the current AFCS point leader out of Plano, Texas. That Prosser Racing 19, TJ Michael, the 28-year-old driver of the Vance Castone Fremont Fence Crown Battery, Shingle Monkey Roofing, high-speed, low-drag racers realm, number 19 of TJ Michael.
Brian, you talk about the successful start of the season for TJ Michael. Zach Hampton has been fighting gremlins all year long. Thought he figured something out last week at Williams Grove and then blows out a rear end. So the problems still continue for this 97 car.
I think other than working on a race car, Zach's favorite thing is to drive one, but he loves working on sprint cars. So I'm sure he doesn't want all those problems. It doesn't faze him much. He just rolls his sleeves up and goes to work. TJ Michael will go fourth quick, and Zach Hampton ninth quick. Next two qualifiers, the 2X of Gage Ecken out of Saline, Ohio, and the Ron Jacobs Trucking, May Painting and Sandblasting, CEI, number 2X. And Leighton Wagner, the number 38, following the All-Stars this year. Out of Enon Valley, Pennsylvania, the 18-year-old driver of Shell House Landscape Construction, Karski Security, Bobby Clark Racing, Watkins Turf Care, McFarland Lumber, Chaluk's Bar and Grill, Steno Construction Shop, AngryDuck.com, number 38. Former Wayne County Speedway track champion, where the Speedweek will go on Monday evening. Gage Etkin will go 10th quick. And Leighton Wagner now jumps up to 10th quick, moving Etkin back to 11th quick.
Next on the Speedway from Republic, Ohio, in the Jeff Ward Demolition Premier Planning Services, Elliott Custom Trailers and Cars, Tony Elliott Foundation, Primal Tea Shop, Innovative Excavating, Products 33W, that is Cap Henry, and from Fremont, Ohio, Level Utilities, John Wright's Custom Chrome, Maxilon, Second Sandblasting, Fremont Fence, Liberty Tax, Kistler Racing Products X, that is Mike Keegan. Mike Keegan, Cap Henry, next two cars on the Speedway. An opening time lap for Cap Henry. He'll go third quick, 12.559. Opening time for Mike Keegan. He'll go 11th quick, 13.056. Second time for Cap Henry. He will not improve, 12.677. So Cap Henry third quick here in Flight B of Capital Renegade qualifying. Keegan second time, he'll go 12.955. That puts him ninth quick. So Trey Jacobs still holding quick time here in Flight B.
Next two qualifiers should be the 34 Sterling Kling out of Franklin, Indiana by way of Tempe, Arizona. 29-year-old driver of the SCR Machine, Johnsonville Concrete Bird Racing, number 34. And another one of those Lemoore, California drivers, making his way to the Midwest in the Burmeister Racing number 16, Gage the Spider Garcia, the 20-year-old driver of the Sunny Signs, DMI, Kaiser Wheels, Willwood Brakes, Triple X, Graber Racing Components, Burmeister Trophies, Napa Bryan, B&B Custom Concrete, Berryman Racing Shocks, Wilhelm Auto Parts. Of course, the cousin of Cole Macedo, Carson Macedo, Gage Garcia. Opening lap, he is 8th quick. Sterling Kling 9th quick. Sterling Kling will remain 9th quick. And Gage Garcia will jump up to 7th quick. Good lap for the youngster out of Lemoore, California. 7th quick for Gage Garcia.
From Ashland, Ohio, in the 89 Homes K&R Supply, Outlaw Logistics 7DK, that is Dylan Kingan. And from Mount Gambier, South Australia, in the AutoCam Mount Gambier, Callum Morrison Construction, Prestige Track Sales, Quick Mix Concrete, CAU 55 of Parker Scott. Parker Scott making his All-Star debut, his Attica debut, and his debut here in the United States. Opening time for Dylan Kingan. He'll go 15th quick, 13.299. Parker Scott, 14th quick, 13.081. Dylan Kingan making his 15th appearance with the All-Stars, as he will not improve, 13.334. Parker Scott will not improve, 13.212. That puts him 14th quick.
Next two qualifiers should be the 0-1, and I do not see him out there. He went off in hot laps, so we'll bring out that 15C, former two-time Attica track champion Chris Andrews out of Sandusky, Ohio, the 38-year-old driver of the Ohio Truck Sales Fleet Financial Riddle American Beer. Wyford Kenworth, number 15C. And Craig Mintz, a two-time Attica track champion out of Gibsonburg, Ohio, in that 09. The Real Geese Decoys, Guild Construction, Grant Decker Construction, Bettsville American Legion, KS Sales and Service Cylinder Speed Equipment, number 09. Craig Mintz will go third quick. And 12th quick for Chris Andrews.
Borden will come in at 21st quick, 14.367 for Devin Borden. Next up, hot laps and qualifying all at the same time for the Dirt Nerds podcast, powered by Propane UMP Late Models. 25 cars strong this evening. Again, a big thank you to our night sponsors, Ollie's Bargain Outlet, new location in Norwalk, Ohio. Ohio Labor's local LIUNA, the Labor's International Union of North America. And American Power Sports. You want to go fast, snowmobiles, motorcycles, utility vehicles, scooters, they have it all. American Power Sports in Findlay, just off I-75, and in Sandusky, Ohio, off Route 250. Cars rolling on the speedway for their hot laps and qualifying. They hot lap and qualify against the cars in their heat. We invert 4 in each heat.
14 of J.R. Gentry out of Worcester, Ohio, the 46-year-old driver. The Gentry Dumpster Services, El Campesino Restaurant, Holmes Pest Control, Brandy Buchenfall House of Hair, Russ King Products, number 14. The one-star defending and two-time track champion picked up an exciting win here last week out of Mansfield, Ohio, Kyle Moore. He also has a win at the Mansfield Speedway. And that one-star, the Kepling Flooring, Ty Tworg Longhorn Chassis, Joyride Transportation, Smithley Towing, Shortstop, Melkett Racing Engines, number 1 star. The 22 of Dominic De Niro out of Shiloh, Ohio, the 31-year-old driver, the David M. Dick, attorney at law, Rod Edelbluth's Garage. Utility Energy Services, RPM Performance Parts, Collin Farms, Imperial Truck Refinishing, True Form, Race Products, Mid-Ohio Graphics, number 22. So Kyle Moore quickest. At a 14.575, J.R. Gentry second, Dominic De Niro third. Next group on the Speedway for their hot laps and qualifying. The 16 of Steve Sabo out of London, Ohio. And the Our Place Race Bar and Grill, Kryptonite Race Cars, number 16. The RH21 of Greg Haskell out of Chatham, Ontario, Canada, and the Holland Haskell's Chatham Kent Home Building Center Pro, Valvoline Express Care, Wallaceburg Moran Family Dentistry, Ty Tworg Racing, Performance Parts, Afterburner Performance, True Form Race Products, Performance Fiberglass and Marine, Appledorf Farms, Dig Our Right Excavating, number RH21, former track champion in the 5M, Flying Ryan Markham, and the Steve Brown's B&B Drain Service, Beer Barrel Drive-Thru, Afterburner Performance, Chewy's Tacos and Margaritas, Monster Motors, Last Mango Soap Company, Back in the Barn Boutique, Ocala Restaurant Supply, Mard Trucking, Schaefer's Racing Oil by Kevin Hill, Life's a Gamble, Livestock, Monster Motors, number 5M. So Kyle Moore quickest, Ryan Markham second quick, J.R. Gentry third, Greg Haskell, your top 4 so far in heat race number 1. Final qualifiers for heat race number 1. Mike Boris in the 15B out of Bellevue, Ohio, the 40-year-old driver of the Rotors Racing Service, Underground Utilities Incorporated, Burns Electric, Camtech, Afterburner Performance, RPM Performance, MTech, number 15B. The 03 of Jim Gingery out of Bucyrus, Ohio, and the Bloomfield Towing, Ohio Auto Parts, Jacobs Roadside Rescue, Kelly Automotive, number 03. And number 11 of Austin Gibson out of Tiffin, Ohio, the 27-year-old driver, G&L Oil, Allen Excavating, TJ Drive-Thru, Kenny Brother Enterprise, Coles Energy, number 11. Row 1 for heat race number 1 will be Mike Boris, J.R. Gentry. Row 2, Ryan Markham, your quick qualifier. Kyle Moore. Row 3 will be Greg Haskell, Jim Gingrey. And your last row, Austin Gibson, Dominic Darrow with Steve Sabo on the tail. Heat race number 2 qualifiers. Nate Potts in the number 29. Out of Republic, Ohio, in the Fatheads Restaurant, Salfordtown Pub, Watts Home Improvement, Smokey's Family Restaurant, Reedtown Tavern, Sunny Cafoman and Capulation, Tana Miller, number 29. Braden Shields, former Rookie of the Year in that 51B, out of Britain, Michigan, in the Magic Fountain Auto Wash Rallies, Hamburgers, Continental Service, Soundbine Trucking and Excavating, T-Town Lawn Care, Dirt Nerds Podcast, number 51B. Making his Attica debut in the 117C, Billy Dawson out of Lakeville, Ohio, the 20-year-old driver to Dusty Stroud, Junior Howell Amsoil, DJ Directional Services, CS Show Cattle, Buckeye Indoor Golf, Lorraine, Ohio Cartplex, Eagle Stores, Bears Lawn Care, Ports Performance, number 117C. So Braden Shields quickest so far in Heat 2. Nate Potts second. Billy Dawson is third. Next group. The one end of Casey Noonan out of Sylvania, Ohio, former ALMS champion in the Noonan's Performance Machining, J. Reynolds Builders, Banshee Graphics, number 1N. Making her Attica Raceway Park debut out of Ashland, Ohio, in the 5EM, Emma Markham, Ryan Markham's daughter. The 19-year-old driver of the Anytime Store and Lock, Chad's Collision and Auto Repair, JR Designs, Here to Serve Construction, Wayne County Speedway, Acala Restaurant Supply, Steve Brown's B&B Drain Service, Back in the Bar and Boutique, Schaefer's Oil by Kevin Hill, Life's a Gamble Livestock Afterburner Performance, number 5EM. And multi-time Attica Raceway Park 305, track champion making his late model debut in the 4M out of Fremont, Ohio, Jamie Miller. And the Jamie Miller Trucking, Fostoria Mod Shop, KJC Mechanical, Vic Hill Race Engines, Dominator Chassis, Bobby Clark Racing, Crown Battery, number 4M. Need to get a new transponder on Emma Markham's 5EM. So Casey Noonan in that one end now quickest in heat race number 2. Braden Shields second. Jamie Miller third. Nate Potts your top 4. Just a couple cars yet to qualify heat race number 2. Kent Brewer, the 28, out of Fostoria, Ohio, the 62-year-old driver, the injector experts in chassis dyno, Ken's Transmissions, Barry Performance Sales, Jimmy Buckets, number 28. The 45 of Jamie Krakowski, out of Toledo, Ohio, the 42-year-old driver, the Speed and Steel Photography back machine. Now we'll bring Emma Markham back out. Front row for heat race number 2 will be Kent Brewer and Jamie Grakowski. Row 2, Braden Shields, your quick qualifier. Casey Noonan. Row 3, Jamie Miller, Nate Potts. Row 4, Emma Markham and Billy Dawson. Third and final heat race qualifiers. Making his Attica Raceway Park debut in the 12R out of Massillon, Ohio, Ray Skinnier, the 27-year-old driver of the Foundation First, JJK Mobile Welding and Fabrication, Great Lakes Tire Company, Gentry Dumpster Services, Kepling Flooring, Griffiths Construction, Timmy Buffett, the Nook, number 12R. Larry Bellman, in the number 59, out of Worcester, Ohio, the 56-year-old driver of the Amsoil, United Hardwoods, Lucky Buck, Bellman's Lawn and Landscape, Dream Huge Realty, of Holly Walker Agent, Chrisman Construction, Ty Twerg Racing, Platinum Designs, number 59. And the 98 of Tim Sabo, out of Toledo, Ohio, the 67-year-old driver of the Orc Fabrication and Machining back machine. Larry Bellman quickest so far, heat race number 3 in that number 59 car to 15:072. Tim Sabo in the 98 at a 15.500, and Ray Skinnier in the 12R at a 15.628. Next group of qualifiers coming out of retirement, the 2019 Attica champion in that 79, Doug Drown. Hammer down Doug Drown out of Worcester, Ohio in the 79. Another Multi-time former track champion out of Britain, Michigan in the 51, Devin Shields, the 46-year-old driver of the Magic Fountain Auto Wash, Rally's Hamburgers, Dundee Products, Banshee Graphics, Soundbite Trucking and Excavating, Hodges Multi-Trade Services, Dirt Nerds Podcast for the 5-time Attica Raceway Park track champion. And the 46 of Colin Shipley out of McClure, Ohio, the 20-year-old driver of the World Class Collision Domination Race Cars River City Speed Shop, number 46. Colin Shipley, quickest so far in your third heat race in car number 46 at a 14.502. Doug Drown, second quick at a 14.672. Devin Shields, third quick at a 14.737, followed by Larry Bellman, Tim Sabo, and Ray Skinnier. Final two qualifiers. He's got to win this season, but not here. But in the top 10 in points here, looking strong this year here in that 20 machine. Out of Zanesville, Ohio, Todd Brennan in the Hot Shot 107, Dow Cameron Drilling, Angry Duck Graphics, 571 Contracting, number 20. And making his 2026 debut in the number 19, Cody Scott. Out of Ontario, Ohio, in the Rod Edelbluth's Garage, Wilson Realty Agent Robin Jakubic, Trueform Race Products, number 19. Todd Brennan with a win at the Moeller Speedway in 2026. Front row for heat race number 3 will be Doug Drown and Devin Shields. Row number 2 will be Colin Shipley and your quick qualifier, Todd Brennan. Row 3, Cody Scott and Larry Bellman. And your last row, Tim Sabo and Ray Skinnier. That will wrap up Hot Laps and qualifying, the Dirt Nerds Podcast UMP late models. Vintage cars hitting the speedway. I think maybe just putting some heat in the engine. There's Byron Reed behind the wheel, that beautiful Sammy Swindell TMC number 1. Good afternoon. Welcome to Attica Raceway Park on behalf of promoter John Boris and race director Justin Liskey. We appreciate you all coming out here, spending your hard-earned dollars to open up the Overwatch Precision 44th Annual Ohio Sprint Speedweek on the Bert and Bridget Emmett Classic. At this time, if you are so inclined, I ask you please rise, remove your head coverings, and join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for a beautiful evening here at Attica Raceway Park. We ask that you keep all the race teams, fans, officials all safe tonight and throughout Speed Week. Let them have safe travels. No rain, please, God, this week. Let them go racing for the Speed Week shows. We thank you for forgiving our sins. We thank you for your guidance in our hearts, our minds, our souls. Help us to be better people towards each other. Bless this great land of the United States of America. In your name we praise. Amen. And now, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Come over here. There you go. Hi, what's your name?
Link.
Link, and what's yours?
Abriana.
And what's your name?
Oakland.
Ogun, okay. You know what you're going to say, count of three, right? Mm-hmm. All right, say it really loud. I'll put the microphone right here. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go racing!
Let's go racing at Attica Raceway Park. First of 4 heats for the NAPA Auto Parts All-Star Circuit Champions moving into the staging area.
Heat race number 1 hitting the Speedway. Brought to you by Premier Planning Services. At Premier Planning Services, they understand that every client has unique needs, and they pride themselves on their ability to tailor to their services and meet those needs. Whether you want the right health insurance or understand your Medicare options, they are here for you. For more information, visit pps4u.com. Starting on the pole from Huntersville, North Carolina in the Level Utilities, Kelly Go, Kaiser Sound Company. Limousine Limos 44, that is Aiden Price to the outside from Mount Vernon, Ohio. 89 Homes, KR Supply. Shortstop Schaefer's Oil, 7-star, that is Tyler Street.
Row number 2 to the inside out of Kokomo, Indiana, driving the Indy Race Parts, Wood Racing Engines, Chalk Stick 71. That's the law firm of Parker Price Miller. And right beside him, your defending all-star champion quick qualifier in the 101 out of Sacramento, California, the Burchard Financial, Harris Distributing, Pub 400, Running Boxer Farms, C&H Veterans Enterprises, Kleinholz Electric Machine, Triple J Towing, Valvoline, 101, that is Caleb Henry.
Starting inside row number 3 from Adelaide, Australia in the Kaiser Wheel, Slade Shocks, GW Racing, All-Star Supply Company, that is Brock Hallett. And to the outside from Benton Ridge, Ohio in the Ohio Logistics, DNC Hydraulics, Miller Customs, Finley Pallet, W20, that is Greg Wilson.
Row number 4 to the inside out of Fremont, Ohio in the Story Equipment, Black Swamp Heating and Cooling, Pit Stop Convenience Stores, Gary Hiling Trucking, American Armature Corporation, North Branch Nursery, Josh Cromer Seamless Gutters, 35, that is Stuart Brubaker. And to his outside out of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania in the Weikert's Livestock, Speedway Cars, Sandoz Fruit Market, York Excavating, Big Cove Whitetail Trophy Hunts, 48, Double D, Danny Dietrich.
Starting a 9 spot from Delta, Ohio in the Steiny's Tavern, SCM Precision Machine, that is 98-8. Jeff Kai Harper to the outside, a Maxim Rookie of the Year contender from Mercer, Pennsylvania. McCandless Ford of Mercer, Meadville, McCandless Trailer Sales, Priest Enterprises, 29 of Logan McCandless.
And on the tail from Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin, driving the BMRE electric carts, Kaiser aluminum wheels, 47, Todd King. Eight laps, top 5 to tonight's 35 lap A main to kick off Ohio Sprint Speedweek. Young Aiden Price, Alex, on that pole position there. Again, coming off a 4th place run here last Friday night. The youngster feeling pretty comfortable in that Rich and Shelley Farmer-owned machine as the pace trucks, the Bauman Auto Group pace trucks, hit the infield. We are ready to rock and roll off turn 4, Alex.
Premier Planning and Services, heat race number 1. Price Street on the front row. Green flag is out here in heat race number 1. Great start for Aiden Price as they go into turn number 1 and 2. Parker Price Miller tried to duck to the inside there on Tyler Street. Brock Hallett, Caleb Henry. Henry goes to the top side. Caution flag is out.
Not a good start. Aiden Price getting sent back a row, took off too early. The youngster just a little anxious, starting on the front row for the All-Star event here. So that'll move Dylan Kingen now, or Tyler Street, excuse me, and Parker Price Miller to the front row. Aiden Price, Caleb Henry in row 2. Going to be interesting, Alex, to watch Danny Dietrich here. Buried in that 4th row, the defending Ohio Sprint Speedweek champion. He always likes, the last 4 or 5 years coming over here and running these Ohio tracks, he likes the bull rings. Coming off that Central Pennsylvania, the half-milers. We'll try it again out of turn 4, side by side at the chalk line. Oh, look out, Tyler Street. Big wheel stands. Sets it back down and goes from first to next to last. Parker Price Miller going to lead the charge out of turn 4, going to lead lap number 1 over Caleb Henry. Greg Wilson on the move in the W20, and Brock Hallett, your top 4.
And keep an eye on that 48 of Danny Dietrich, because the difference in this format this year, you get a point per pass. Danny Dietrich right now on the move as he is in a transfer spot, but he's on the hunt for more.
Points, points, points as Parker Price Miller set sail down the backstretch. Caleb Henry comfortably in second. Greg Wilson up to that third spot. He started sixth in this one. So Greg Wilson, who struggled with qualifying over the last few years, qualified pretty decent tonight and picking up points in that third spot. Fourth to Brock Hallett and fifth to Danny Dietrich. Aiden Price back to sixth. Stuart Brubaker, Tyler Street, Todd King, Kai Harper, and Logan McCallis round out the field.
Parker Price Miller out in control of this one by over a second and a half last time by, and it's still holding at a second and a half over Caleb Henry. Greg Wilson a second and a half behind, so your top two are pretty well distanced between the rest of the field.
Everybody trying to go around the bottom of the racetrack, but not Caleb Henry. Problems for Tyler Street off the high side of turn 2, and that will bring out the caution flag with 6 laps in. Tyler Street got up and had a bunch of wheel stands here on that initial start, and the car slammed down hard each time it came down on the racing surface. You wonder if a tie rod or something like that, torsion bar or a shock maybe even let go in that 7-star.
Brian, he clipped the tractor tire on that start, and you know, if you watch through 3 and 4 there through this heat race, Todd King has hit the tractor tire. Logan McCandless has hit the tractor tire. Those tractor tires are playing a little pivotal here, especially when everyone's trying to get to the bottom.
The bottom, everybody thinks it's because the rest of the track is slick, but there's a lot of grip down there. Has been all year long. The bottom of the racetrack's had a lot of grip, but some guys have found that top side. They like that big berm to lean on and get that momentum. The track will widen out and slick off as the night goes on. That wipes out a 1.3 second lead for Parker Price Miller. Caleb Henry in that second spot. Greg Wilson 6th to 3rd. Brock Hallett up to that 4th spot, coming off his first U.S. win up at Butler Speedway last Saturday night. Danny Dietrich from 8th into that 5th position. Aiden Price 6th. Stuart Brubaker 7th. Todd King, Kai Harper, Logan McCandless round out the field.
Brian, you talk about the curb building up. The front two are used to curbs. One's from California, where I feel like every racetrack has a curb. And Parker Price Miller's from Indiana, where if you ever watch USAC racing in Indiana, if the racetrack don't have a curb, I feel like it's not good racing.
Parker Price Miller runs well around the Ohio tracks, kind of cut his teeth around here. Now since he's teamed up with Bernie at Indy Race Parts, those two go all over the country. You never know where that neon green and black 71 is going to show up, and they're fast everywhere they go. But again, I'm really impressed with Greg Wilson, who's really struggled in qualifying, and they've really upped the game in qualifying, which put him in a decent position. Nice, rolled off 6 up to 3rd. Those valuable points.
And if you're Greg Wilson, Danny Dietrich, on top of your finishing points, you're already +3 each, so that's 3 more points.
6 laps in, 2 to go. Heat race number 1 of 4. The NAPA Auto Parts All-Star Circuit of Champions presented by Valvoline. Looks like we got honorary flagman up there. Dave Fu says that green flag comes back out, single file past that Truckworks of Ohio restart cone. And Parker Price Miller sets sail again down the backstretch. Caleb Henry going to go right up to the cushion in 3 and 4. Greg Wilson around the bottom in 3rd. Hallett in 4th. Here comes Danny Dietrich and Aiden Price battling. Oh, upside down in turn 4. Todd King. I'm guessing, without looking at the replay, I'm wondering if Todd didn't clip one of those tractor tires. He was running back next to last in this heat race. But I see Logan McCandless with some damage too, so I don't know if they tangled.
There's not much damage, the wings damage right now, but doesn't look like some major damage on the 47.
Oh, looking at the camera angles from FloRacing, going to have some work to do, but
Todd King out of the car.
well, that'll set up overtime. All all-star races have to finish under green-white checker finish, so we're in overtime.
You know, Brian, I saw some folks from Overwatch Precision here for night one of the Overwatch Precision Ohio Speedweek. Kistler Racing Engines, a great presenting sponsor, coming on this year for Ohio Speedweek. Drivers, when they signed in today, all got a complimentary tub of towels for the week. Come in handy very well.
Oh, a big thank you to the Pub 400 and all the gang over there. Put together a little drive to get things for the race teams for Speed Week. Some money for the car washes, drinks, snacks, all kinds of things going on. I believe we even have a sponsor doing, I believe the Pub 400's buying whoever makes it to the Fremont deal. I think leading the points, I can't remember what it was, but the crew gets 4 pit passes bought for them for Fremont on next Friday night.
And while we're talking about the great sponsors, Logan McCandless is in the Grit Pouches work area. Folks from Grit Pouches in attendance as well tonight, catching night number 1 of Ohio Speed Week.
Track back under the Ollie's Bargain Outlet of Norwalk yellow flag. We'll get them lined up here. They'll get green, then the white, then the checker. Without any yellows, of course, that might occur in there. On the flag stand now, we have the retired fire chief and Dave Foose and retired police chief and Dean Bliss. Head flagman Brandon Bliss, Dean's son. Bomb and Auto Group pace trucks to the infield. Green, white checker finish. Parker Price Miller, Caleb Henry, Greg Wilson, Brock Hallett, Aiden Price. Your top 5, Danny Dietrich on the outside, trying to get around Price, who made that pass a lap before. Here we go.
Parker Price Miller going to lead him into turn number 1 and 2. As Brock Hallett there gets out and Swords opens the door. Here comes Aiden Price to the inside. Going to throw a little slider there on Brock Hallett. Clears the slider. Hallett now back to the inside.
That race is for the 4th position. Is down the backstretch one final time through turns 3 and 4. Taking that heat race win going to be the law firm Parker Price Miller, Caleb Henry 2nd, 3rd, Greg Wilson 4th, Aiden Price final transfer to Brock Hallett, Danny Dietrich, Stuart Brubaker, and Kai Harper to the B main. Top 4 going to the 8. Aiden Price in that, or top 5 going to the 8, excuse me. Brock Hallett 5th, 4th, Aiden Price, third to Greg Wilson, second Caleb Henry. Make some noise for the winner out of Kokomo, Indiana. What do you say for the law firm? Parker Price Miller.
Heat race number 2 heading on to the Speedway. Heat race number 2 brought to you by All Pro Cylinder Heads. The choice for your premium aluminum cylinder heads for over 40 years now has the same unmatched quality in a 4-ton sprint car block. It doesn't get any better. Visit the website or call All Pro for more details on a block and cylinder head package for your team. Starting on the front row from Rising Sun, Ohio, in the Poet RC Concrete MRZ Brush Removal TNT Ag. Number 5, that is Cody Brewer to the outside. In the Level Utilities, Fremont Auto Parts, Lender Speed Equipment, Limo Z Limos, that's Howdy Zest Sabo in the 29.
Row number 2 out of Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia, in the number 66, the Riddlesville Trucking, Nutrin Homes, Red Hill Transport, Napa Auto Care, Clay-Per-View, Sprint Shack 66, that is Ryan Newton to the inside. And to the outside, a former track champion out of Fremont, Ohio, driving the commercial glazing systems, Crown Battery, Josh Cromer, Seamless Gutters, Hammer Pallets, Levy Utilities, All Intent Rentals, Levy Utilities. Number 3, that is DJ Foos.
Pair of Bryces will start in row number 3 to the inside from Terre Haute, Indiana. In the B&M Sandblasting and Power Coating, Culver Wrights Pools, Simpson Race Products, that is Bryce Norris. And to the outside in the 27H from Findlay, Ohio, in the Rodana Trucking, Triple X, Stinger Race Fuels, BK Trucking, that is Bryce Lucius.
Row number 4 to the inside out of Bellevue, Ohio, in the Ernst Tire Recycling, Joyride Transportation, Premier Undercoating, Burns Electric, Carey Deal at Celeste Realty, 25-hour Jordan Ryan. And beside Ryan, out of Rawson, Ohio, driving the Golden Flavor Sesame 6, Perryman Racing, Shocks Callie's Performance Products 98, that is Ricky Peterson.
Starting in the 9th spot from Allenton, Michigan, in the Crest Lincoln, Ron Carquest Armada, Catch Fenced 5E, that is Bobby Elliott. And to the outside from Holmesville, Ohio, in the Simcox Grinding Steel, Amanda Lewis, Attorney at Law, BRS Bell, that is Race Jacobs in the 81.
On the tail out of Elyria, Ohio, driving the Oxford Harriman Financial, New Era Servicing, John Wright's Custom Chrome Plating, Graber Racing Components, Perfection Fabricators, 3V, Chris Verda. 8 laps, top 5. Move to the night's 35-lap A main.
Brian, we talk about how the competition is here in Ohio Speedweek, how competitive it is and how tough it is. Danny Dietrich has to go to a B main, so your defending Ohio Speedweek champion is going to start night 1 in a B main.
He learned from that heat. They'll make some adjustments to that 48 car. They head to Sharon Speedway tomorrow, and he's very comfortable at Sharon. He has multiple wins at the Sharon Speedway, so he probably came in here tonight. He has kind of struggled every time he's been at Attica. He can't get a handle on this racing service, but if he can make the feature tonight, he'll feel comfortable with that. Go to Sharon tomorrow, where he will be ultra competitive.
And you look, last year, of course, we rained out here. We rained out at Sharon, but then Danny started off on a tear, podium finish, running Millstream, podium finish at Wayne County, and then ends the week and clinches the championship with the Dean Nitto Memorial at Atomic Speedway. But I think he said he wants that redemption because Cap didn't finish that night, so the race really didn't matter. And now we're going to see him go head-to-head, but there's a lot of heavy hitters that said they're running the whole week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're going to see car counts average in the upper 30s, low 40s all week long. There's going to be a strong contingent following Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Here we go, ready to rock and roar off turn 4. 8 laps, top 5 the A. Green is out. Jeff Sable with the advantage in the 1 and 2. But look at that 66 of Ryan Newton. First time he's ever laid eyes on Attica Raceway Park, and he is into the 2nd spot. Cody Brewer in 3rd, DJ Foos racing with Bryce Lucius for that 4th spot. Lucius gets it down the backstretch. Here comes Ricky Peterson in that 98 car on the move.
Peterson now going to slide up in front of Foos. Foos now trying to go to the inside. DJ Foos, Ricky Peterson Jr., that's for the final transfer spot, as now DJ Foos returns the slider there in turn 1 and 2. Into turn 3 and 4, DJ Foos holds it, and here comes Jordan Ryan.
Out front yet is Zeth Sabo commanding lead. A tick over a second over Ryan Newton, the Australian, looking comfortably in 2nd. Cody Brewer, the youngster, running in that 3rd spot. 4th to Bryce Lucius in the 27H. And what a battle for that 5th spot now. Jordan Ryan, DJ Foos.
DJ Foose takes back that final transfer spot, but has Jordan Ryan and Ricky Peterson Jr. not far behind, as Ricky Peterson Jr. going to be the first car to duck out of line and try the top side.
Down the backstretch through turns 3 and 4. 2 laps to go across the stripes, this time by for Zeth Howdy Sabo, Ryan Newton, Cody Brewer, Bryce Lucius, and the 3 of DJ Foose, but he's got company. Jordan Ryan is knocking on the door. White flag out of turn 4 for Zeth Sabo.
Zeth Sabo leading this one, Ryan Newton, but again, that eye still on the 5th spot as Jordan Ryan not going far away from DJ Foose, but out of turn number 4, taking home heat race number 2, it's Howdy Zeth Sabo. Ryan Newton will come home in the 2nd spot. Cody Brewer, Bryce Lucius, and DJ Foose will lock up that 5th and final transfer spot.
So I believe Jordan Ryan, Ricky Peterson, Bryce Norris to the B, Bobby Elliott, Chris Verda, and Race Jacobs to a C if that is called for. So your top 5 to the A, DJ Foose 5th, 4th, Bryce Lucius 3rd, Cody Brewer 2nd to Ryan Newton. Make some noise for the winner out of Tiffin, Ohio. How about it for Zeth Howdy Sabo?
Heat race number 3 brought to you by Adaptive One Brake Calipers. Upgrade your braking systems with Adaptive One Brake Calipers. These high-quality, direct-fit replacements feature an advanced eco technology for superior corrosion resistance and performance, ensuring safety and style with OE match colors and easy installation. Starting on the front row from Plymouth, Indiana in the A to Z Mechanical, Global Link, Duff's Bar and Grill, Tony Elliott Foundation, Handy Graphics. That is the 14 of Zane DeVault. To the outside from Adrian, Michigan in the Ed Neumeister Racing, Cherry's Propane, Cherry's Outdoor World, L&M Properties, Poor Racing, 11N. That is Darren Nida.
Row number 2 to the inside, a 2-time Attica Raceway Park Track champion out of Gibsonburg, Ohio, in the Real Geese Decoys, Gill Construction, Grant Decker Construction, Bettsville American Legion, KS Sales and Service, Lender Speed Equipment 09. That is Craig Mintz. And to his outside, another former track champion out of Worcester, Ohio, driving the Nagy's Performance Racing Products, Finley Pallet, Interstate Truck Repair, TNT Firearms, Nagy Equipment Sales, Miller Customs, Kilgore and Herring Accountants. Number 28N, that is Trey Jacobs.
Starting on the inside of row number 3 from Fairland, Indiana in the Rudzig Excavating, Centerline, Boring Smith, Titanium AL, Driveline, Behrman Racing, Sharks 49X. That is Cale Thomas. And to the outside from Bradner, Ohio in the Fauci Farms, Industrial Movers, S&S Hauling, VRF Specialties, 1 of Nate Dussel.
Row number 4 to the inside out of Fremont, Ohio, the Lovell Utilities, John Wright's Custom Chrome Plating, Fremont Fence, Liberty Tax, Max Salon, Seagate Sandblasting, Kistler Racing Products, Lender Speed Equipment X. That is Mike Keegan, and alongside Keegan, out of Mooresville, Indiana, driving the Sealing Motorsports, Northwest Ohio Towing and Recovery, Sugar Street Bar and Grill, 97, Zach Hampton.
Starting in row number 5 to the inside from Struthers, Ohio in the JS Bova Excavating Pro Quality Demo, Southeastern Equipment Center Kebab Sub Shop. That's the 20B of Cody Bova. To the outside from Ashland, Ohio in the 89 Homes, K&R Supply Outlaw Logistics. That is Dylan Kingan in the 7DK.
And on the tail out of Raymond, Washington, driving the Slingshot Transportation, CEI Crane and Rigging, Buckshot Racing, Baker's Mobile Home Transport, Momentum Racing, Suspension Garrett Services, number 45, that is the Daredevil, Devin Borden.
Green flag is out here in heat race number 3. Zane DeVault, Darren Nida side by side into turn number 1 and 2. DeVault with a good run, but here comes 9 on the outside, and behind them, we got a 4-car battle here. Trey Jacobs, Cale Thomas, and now Nate Dussel battling it out here for a final transfer spot.
Up front, though, they're still duking it out for the lead. Darren Knight going to get the advantage now out of turn 2 over Zane DeVault. Craig Mintz comfortably in that 3rd spot. Trey Jacobs in 4th, and Nate Dussel the 5th and final transfer spot. But here comes Cale Thomas racing to his inside.
Slider there by Mike Keegan, and he's going to collect it.
Down.
Cody Bova, Devin Borden involved in this one on the front stretch.
Mike Keegan got sideways. Cars started stacking up behind him. Cody Bova Devin Borden, no place to go as they take a tumble down the front stretch. Devin Borden already out of the 45 car.
So Devin Borden out of the car. So for those tuning in on Flow, we'll get an instant replay.
The good news for Devin Borden, the car is rolling straight down into the work area. Damage to the wings, of course. Track going back to Ollie's Bargain Outlet of Norwalk, yellow flag. That'll bring out the Truckworks of Ohio restart cone. So Darren Nida out front, Zane DeVault second, Craig Mintz third, Trey Jacobs fourth, Nate Dussel that fifth and final transfer position. Cale Thomas in the sixth spot with a win here, won at Fremont Speedway. Nipping at Caleb Henry's heels for that all-star point lead. And as you pointed out earlier, Alex, Speedweek can sometimes separate everybody depending on how well your Speedweek goes or doesn't go.
We saw it last year. What closed the gap was Caleb Henry's struggles at Wayne County really opened the door for Cale Thomas. And that was the biggest racetrack one to struggle at. Cale Thomas almost with a win there last year before shredding a tire. Opened the door to hold Cale off. But if Cale Thomas shows the speed, we go there still 3 times this year. And then Cale Thomas a win here this year. But we go to Fremont still 3 more times where both drivers have a win this year.
Hammer dropped in turn 4. We go back to green with 2 laps in. Darren Nida at Ed Neumeister Racing Machine pulls away now from the 14 of Zane DeVault. Craig Minson, third. Races now for 4th. Trey Jacobs up top. Here comes the 1 of Nate Dussel. Slides up into that 4th spot. Dussel back to 5th. Zach Hampton, Cale Thomas trade sliders right behind them. Action heating up for the final transfer spot, and Craig Mintz has caught Zane DeVault for 2nd.
Zane DeVault holding on to the 2nd spot. Cale Thomas trying to chase down the 97 of Zach Hampton. Trey Jacobs still right in front of those 2. As that right on the back bumper. We're going to have a three-car battle here for that fifth and final transfer spot. Jacobs holds on to it, but here comes Thomas to the inside on Zach Hampton.
Out front, it's still Darren Knight, Zane DeVault, then the brothers-in-law, Craig Mintz and Nate Dussel. Run third and fourth, but what a tussle for the fifth spot. Trey Jacobs has it. Cale Thomas, Zach Hampton won it. But they're running out of laps here. The sands of the hourglass fading to that final transfer position as the white flag goes in the air. Out of turn 4 for Darren Nida. Zane DeVault, Craig Mintz, Nate Dussel, Trey Jacobs. Cale Thomas, one last shot. He's going to go right up to the cushion in 1 and 2, try to get a big run off the high side of turn 2. The rear bumper of Trey Jacobs. Slider coming in 3 and 4. They go side by side, wing to wing for that final transfer spot. Trey Jacobs holds him off. Wow. So your top 5 going to tonight's A. Trey Jacobs holds off a last lap charge from Cale Thomas. Nate Dussel in the 4th spot. His brother-in-law Craig Mintz in 3rd. Zane DeVault 2nd to make some noise for the winner out of Adrian, Michigan. And the 11N, Darren Nida.
One more heat race coming up. Basil Race Fuels heat race number 4. Basil Race Fuels distributes racing fuel throughout Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia, Delaware, and Maryland. We can help you find a location to purchase the specific fuel you need. For more information, visit basilracefuels.com. Starting on the front row for your 4th and final heat ropes. From Lemoore, California, the Burmeister Trophy, Sunny Signs, NAPA of Bryan, Ohio, Kistler Engines, Triple X Chassis. That is the 16 of Gage Garcia. To the outside from West Plano, Texas, the Advanced Cast Stone Superior Tank and Trailer, Fremont Fence Company, Shingley Monkey. That is TJ Michael in the 19.
Row number 2, 4-time and defending track champion, 3 wins on the season here out of Republic, Ohio, in the Jeff Ward Demolition, Premier Planning Services, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, the Tony Elliott Foundation, Primal T-Shop, Innovative Excavating, 33W, Cap Henry. And to his outside, out of Elvada, Ohio, driving Ohio Logistics, Truck Works of Ohio, Diesel Works, Kaiser Wheels, North Baltimore, Custom Cut Meats, 15K, Krieg Kemenaw.
Row number 3 on the inside from Tempe, Arizona, in the SCR Machine, Bird Racing, Johnson Built Concrete, that's the 34 of Sterling Kling, and then 15C from Sandusky, Ohio. Kenworth and Cleveland, Fleet Financial, Ohio Truck Sales, Real American Beer. That's Chris Andrews. He'll start in the 6th spot.
Row number 4 to the inside out of Medina, Ohio, in the Chuck's Custom Truck and Trailer, Amso Albright Security Center, Design Engineering, Luscious Graphics, Station House Antiques, Hickory Ride Welds, number 8T, Tanner Tecco. And to his outside, making his debut in the United States, in the AU55 of Mount Gambier, South Australia, in the Auto Care, Mount Gambier, Cullum Morrison Construction Prestige Track Sales, Quick Mix Concrete, A55, that is Parker Scott.
Starting on the 9th spot from Enon Valley, Pennsylvania, the Shell Haas Landscape Construction, McFarland Lumber, Pallets, Bobby Clark Racing, Watkins Turf Care, Karski Security Shop, Angry Duck, that's the 38 of Leighton Wagner. To the outside from Salina, Ohio, in the Ron Jacobs Trucking, May Painting, and Sandblasting CEI, that is Gage Etkin in the 2X.
And on the tail, the National Sprint Car Hall of Famer, second on the All-Stars all-time career win list, 4-time All-Star champion, multi-time Speedweek champion out of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, in the Danny Williams Racing, Williams Seal, Cody McDonald's Roofing, Bennick Enterprises, 0-1, the Steel City Outlaw, Tim Schaefer.
And 3 heat races in, Brian, and it's all about the points. Top 8 go to the Level Utilities Dash, and unofficially, Parker Price Miller top of the leaderboard in that one. Caleb Henry, Darren Nida, Zasebo, Ryan Newton, Craig Mintz, Zane DeVault, and Trey Jacobs are your top 8 going into the 4th and final heat race. Again, unofficially, those are your points. And then right after this heat race, we'll have the Islander in of Put in Bay Dice Roll to find out the invert for that Level Utilities Dash as Leighton Wagner comes to a stop here in turn 3 and 4. So lights will go back on. Bowman Auto Group pace truck's going to pull in here. Lights are out. Gage Garcia, TJ Michael on the front row here for your fourth and final heat race. Green flag in the air. Gage Garcia with a great jump as they'll go into turn number 1 and 2. Cap Henry goes right to the top side here and is going to go right to work on TJ Michael. Caution flag will wave here.
Oh, Gage Garcia took off too soon. So that'll move TJ Michael and Cap Henry to the front row now, as if Cap Henry needs any more advantages. Boy, the youngsters get excited when they start in the front row, the teenagers, for Speedweek. Green is out. Here we go. TJ Michael down to the bottom. Cap Henry going to go right to the cushion in 1 and 2. Going to get a slingshot move off the high side, almost over the right rear tire of TJ Michael. Thinks better of it. Michael down to the bottom, slides up in front of Cap Henry. Garcia back to that third spot. Good race for 4. Sterling Kling, the 15K of Creek coming on. Chris Andrew, hang on, a spin in turns 1 and 2. Parker Scott going to get sideways. He keeps the car under fire, but that will bring out the yellow flag. I believe we did get a lap in, so they will be single file restart at that Truckworks of Ohio restart cone. So TJ Michael out front, Cap Henry second, Gage Garcia in third. Sterling Kling in fourth, Chris Andrews your top 5, Krieg Kemenau, Tim Schaefer, Leighton Wagner, Tanner Tecco, Gage Etkin, and now Parker Scott. Lineup is good. They get the 1 to go signal. No front wing damage on the 34 of Sterling Kling. The right front has collapsed down onto the hood of the 34 machine. See how that affects the handling. Down off the banking, green flag out. Oh, there goes Gage Garcia riding a bucking Bronco. Cap Henry, that car up on all 2 wheels, 4 wheels, 1 wheel. Drops back to third. Gnarly cushion up in turns 1 and 2.
Oh, Creek Kemenau.
Now Creek Kemenau going to spin off the high side of turn 2. That will bring out the caution.
So Creek Kemenau, who went and started in that 4th spot with a 4-car invert, now going to have to tag the tail of the field here and try it again. And Cap Henry, with a mistake there, opened the door. Gage Garcia takes over the 2nd spot there. TJ Michael, Gage Garcia, Cap Henry, Sterling Kling. Chris Andrews is your top 5, but now this puts Tim Schaefer 1 spot out of a transfer spot here. And Tim Schaefer
look at the points.
And Tim Schaefer didn't get to qualify. So, I mean, that's a lot of passing points there, which could still help him out in possibly gaining another starting spot in the feature if he can get in the transfer spot.
Tim Schaefer likes the bottom of the racetrack, and it's pretty bottom dominant right now, except for Cap Henry trying to run that cushion. Here we go again, drop down off the high side of the racetrack, green back out past that Truckworks of Ohio restart cone. TJ Michael, current AFCS point leader, and this time Cap Henry goes to the bottom, going to try to stick a nose. Look at that, 3-car battle for the final transfer spots, and look who's in the 4th from the tail, the 0-1 of Tim Schaefer. And the 15K going to stop in turn 4.
So Creek Kemenau goes off the banking, brings out the caution here. But we took the lap, so Tim Schaefer up to the 4th spot. So 7 spots gained. So Tim Schaefer right now gets 7 more points on top of where he finishes here tonight in this heat race, which might open the door for Tim Schaefer to start at least a row, if not two, higher than what he would have after not qualifying to start the night.
And he's still got 5 more laps to pick up a spot or two, huh? TJ Michael out front of this one. Gage Garcia in second, Cap Henry third, from the tail to fourth. Tim Schaefer in the final transfer right now, Chris Andrews.
And remember, opening night here to start the season, we saw Cap Henry and Tim Schaefer go at it for a few laps in that feature, and now we'll get a little deja vu here with these two going to go at it in this heat race. TJ Michael, Gage Garcia, Cap Henry, Tim Schaefer. Those 4 cars have all looked fast here in these opening 3 laps. Green flag back out here in heat race number 4.
TJ Michael right to the middle of the racetrack this time. Cap Henry going to try to get underneath Gage Garcia, exiting turn 2, can't get it done. Chris Andrews putting the pressure on Tim Schaefer. They go wing to wing, a little bump there, and move Chris Andrews up to the 4th spot, up to second now, Cap Henry.
TJ Michael holding on to the heat race lead right now, but here comes Cap Henry closing speed as Cap Henry goes to the top side here, trying to close in on TJ Michael, but keep an eye, the 01 of Tim Schaefer still right behind the 15C of Chris Andrews.
Oh, Michael got off the racetrack there on the backstretch. Had to gather it back in. Cap Henry going to go to his inside slider in 1 and 2. New leader, Cap Henry. TJ Michael going to try to drive under him, exiting turn 2, but Cap Henry back to the lead.
White flag will be in the air one more time around for Cap Henry, TJ Michael, Gage Garcia. That is your top 3 as they go down the backstretch one more time into turn number 3 and 4, and taking home heat race number 4, the 33W of Cap Henry. TJ Michael second, Gage Garcia, Chris Andrews, and Tim Schaefer, your top 5.
So moving to the A main, Tim Schaefer from the tail up to 5th, Chris Andrews 4th, Gage Garcia 3rd, TJ Michael 2nd, and make some noise for the winner out of Republic, Ohio in the 33W. What do you say for Cap Henry?
Burdick's RV Center. Dealer in the Northeast. Travel to and from your destination in extreme luxury, Class C and Super C motorhomes like no other. Choose a new Renegade Explorer or the incredible Renegade Classic, while the new Renegade XL stands above them all. We'll help arrange financing and work with your trade-in too. So chase races, chase your dreams with Renegade at Burdick's RV Center in Cicero, New York, or Burdick'sRVCenter.com.